Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to this video. All right, so we are going to do another video on a no start issue, and we're going to do a quick fix on this. Hopefully it'll be the same issue that you guys are having, and this will be a quick fix for you guys too. But let me just give you some background. So I've had no issues with my car for a long while. Changed out the battery maybe like 6 months ago, and it's been working fine ever since. Hasn't had a check engine light or anything like that for the longest while. And yesterday I took it for a long drive, went all over the place, and took it to Walmart to get something. Came back out 30 minutes later, try to start it, and it wouldn't start. And not only would not start, but I kept on getting the flashing green key on the dash. Normally, when it normally starts is you turn it and it's on there for a second just to tell you that the light is working, and then it starts up. But every time you would try to crank it, the green key light would start flashing. So at that point, I realized that it was probably some issue with the key fob or something outside of maybe well, it could have been a battery related issue. But since I changed out the battery like 6 months ago, I did go out and, like anybody else would do, just open the hood up and check to see if I could see anything that was odd, and definitely looked at the battery and checked out the terminals just to make sure they were tight and clean. They were tight and clean. The battery was clean. It's only 6 months old. Didn't suspect that there's any issues with the battery, but it's possible if a low battery would cause an issue with the green key flashing the dash. But I chose another route as far as diagnosing this issue, and I did not have something to read the battery as far as what volt it was at. Definitely could have gone to Walmart, bought like a voltmeter and checked that out, but didn't have one on me. Didn't think it was necessary, because everything worked fine, and all the lights came on and stuff like that. And if it wasn't for that flashing green key light on the dash, I probably would have maybe asked somebody for a jump just to see if it actually it was actually the battery or not. But since the green key light was on, flashing, at that point I knew it was either something to do with the security, as far as the alarm system, the immobilizer, the key, etc., etc. And I was thinking to myself, you know what, never changed out the battery on the key fob. Never changed out the battery and the key fob. If you guys don't know how it works as far as the key fob and the ignition and the mobilizers, there is a chip in your key fob that actually is programmed to this chip that's in right around where your ignition is. And once you put the key in ignition, or once you push the push start, if you guys have push start, it actually reads it, and it allows your vehicle to start. So I was at Walmart, and I thought to myself, well, let's figure this out as far as doing a quick fix on this. It doesn't seem to be a major issue. I didn't have a check engine light or anything like that, but I did, just before I get to what I did next, as far as changing out the key and the result of that, let me tell you something. I actually plugged in my OBD2 scanner just to see if there's anything that came up. I know normally the OBD2 scanner doesn't read stuff like that, but always good to be always good to just check things off the troubleshooting list. So I plugged it in, and it read all the way through. There was no issues. There was no it said all the monitors were good. There was no check engine light. and it was good. So I didn't record check engine light before I went to Walmart, and didn't have I was pretty sure I didn't have a check engine light issue with any of the modules. But moving on. So I did that just out of, you know, just because I had an OBD2 scanner. I just wanted to just check stuff off the troubleshooting list. And you guys should do the same. If you guys have these kinds of issues, like, you guys should just, you know, whatever the easiest steps as far as trying to figure out what the problem is definitely the ones you should take. But anyway, went into Walmart, got some batteries for got one of those a couple of those flat batteries, Energizer. I think they sold them like in a 2-pack and a 1-pack. I bought them in a 2-pack anyway, and I popped it in and try to start it, and still got that blinking light on the dash. At that point, I was pretty, you know, I was 90% sure it was actually the battery in the key fob that was causing that kind of problem. But I was like, fine, not a big deal. If that's not starting it, that's not a big deal. There's other things that could be causing this issue. Fuses, relays, not as much relays, but fuses. Try to see whether there was a fuse that was blown, and definitely a blown fuse, because these days, you know how vehicles are. There's electronically connected to virtually every component. You know, has a connection to the fuse box, to the ECU, the car's computer, and stuff like that. So I was like, you know what? Let me look up similar issues that people have had as far as this is concerned, with the green key on a dash flashing, and came across something. There's a fuse. All right, there's a fuse called the ACG fuse. ACG fuse, and that apparently that's the fuse to look for. Apparently that's the fuse that actually is connected to the alarm system, and that fuse gets blown frequent enough where people have where that's pretty much a known issue if you guys have situations like this. But situations like this, it could be a variety of things. It could be the immobilizer, it could be the key fob battery, it could be you know, a fuse. So I was like, that fuse, I just assume maybe, you know, we're going with easy fixes with this. All right, easy diagnosis, easy fixes. It doesn't seem to be a big issue. So went to Walmart, bought a bunch of fuses. I guess I could have just swapped out a couple of these fuses for that, but you know, you never know when you're gonna need fuses, particularly if you have a couple of cars and you do a lot of things with things that need fuses. So got the fuses and swapped out that fuse. Now I didn't know, I didn't really make sure whether that fuse was blowing or not. Didn't have a fuse tester, so I swapped out that fuse. I already have a fuse tester. I wasn't gonna go and get another fuse tester and then return it. So I swapped out that fuse and was crossing my fingers, hoping that I didn't need a tow truck. Pretty sure I didn't need a tow truck. Pretty sure it was something simple that I could have figured out on my own if I thought about it. Worst case scenario, it could be the immobilizer that was the issue. It could be the key fob that had the issue outside the battery. It could be the key fob. Maybe the chip was broken. I needed a spare key to figure out where to start it, how to start it, to figure out that it was that was the problem. And sometimes that is the problem. But let me just keep this to a short story, make this long story short. All right, so I got in and crossing my fingers, and guess what, the light went on and went off, and then I was able to start it, and it started up. That was it. It started up. I haven't had any issues since. And if you guys have this problem, hope that your solution is as simple as mine. I know these situations are very frustrating to figure out, but hopefully this situation isn't too bad for you, and you don't have to get your car towed and spend time and money trying to figure out what the situation is. If you guys have your own if you guys have your own personal experiences with something like this, specifically this, definitely leave a comment in the comment section. Please subscribe, please give me a thumbs up, all that good stuff. Appreciate your time, guys. All right, take care, guys.